Burnout, stress, and anxiety are the biggest challenges facing entrepreneurs and small business owners today, but it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, I'll share my proven blueprint to show you how to strike the perfect balance between fun and focus so you can thrive without sacrificing your well-being as a small business owner. Hey, I'm Christian Helms, an entrepreneur with over 8 years of experience running multiple businesses. Along the way, I've helped businesses scale past that 7-figure mark, and I know firsthand the challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs face trying to balance success with their health. My mission is to share everything I know about avoiding burnout, growing your business, and living a life that you love. Okay, so there's two ends of the spectrum whenever it comes to having balance as an entrepreneur. On one side, you have focus, and on the other side, you have fun. Everybody wants to have focus and get stuff done. Everybody wants to have fun and enjoy what they're doing. Okay, so focus and fun. And imagine we have this little notch in the middle here. Everybody has to find their balance. Not everybody's balance is going to be the same. Not everybody's balance is going to be, a 10 on focus and a 0 on fun, right? It's going to be somewhere in the middle for everybody. And it all depends on a ton of factors that we will get into. But first, let's talk about the problem and why it exists and both sides of it, okay? So the problem is that you have to find a balance. If you don't find a balance, you're gonna run into problems. Well, what happens if you have all focus and no fun? What happens in that situation is you're going to run into a ton of burnout. You're going to run into tiredness, sleeplessness, stress, anxiety, things of that nature. What happens if you have all fun and no focus? Well, in that situation, you're gonna start losing money. You're gonna start losing clients, customers. You're going to start upsetting shareholders. You're gonna start upsetting partners. You're gonna start upsetting employers, bosses, whoever it is. Finding a balance between the two is key because you don't want to be all focus and no fun, because then again, you lose out on a lot of positive emotions. You don't love what you're doing. You feel like it's a job, and life's too short to feel like everything is a job, even your job, especially as an entrepreneur, because a lot of entrepreneurs do their job 7 days a week. So let's talk about practical tips to find balance. So usually here's how I go about things. Focus is a score from 0 to 10. 0 being you are not focused at all, 10 being laser focused all the time. Same thing for fun. 0 fun means no fun at all. You hate what you're doing. You're not having a enjoyable time in life in general because of work. 10 is the opposite. You enjoy it, you love it, you wouldn't change a thing about it. So keep in mind, this point in the middle here, that is the middle, but it's not necessarily gonna be the balancing point for everybody. People may need more fun, they may need more focus, okay? There are people out there who are laser focused. The most successful people typically are laser focused. Let me give you an example of Gary Vee or Sean Cannell or Russell Brunson. People who work. They're very good, very optimized. They don't need a ton of play or as much play as other people do. And keep in mind, when I say play, I mean things within your workday or things within your life that give you just pure enjoyment. It could be things that aren't related to work at all, like pickleball, watching movies, YouTube, TV, stuff like that. It can also be things that are in your office. For example, I do a lot of coffee. I have my coffee bar right behind me. As soon as I get into the office, I start my day by making coffee. Whether it's a black cup of coffee, an espresso shot, which I don't typically do. Usually if I do espresso, I'm gonna make, an Americano, a latte, something like that. It's a process that gets me into the flow of my workday. Just an easy way to start, something calming to get me into it. And then you also have what are the best possible fun things, which are kind of coupled, and that being their fun and focus. Let me give you an example of that. Making a video for my marketing company that is fun because I love talking to the camera. I love helping people, which is fun for me. And then on the other side, that video now has the chance to help our current clients or possibly bring in new leads. So that's a really good example of doing something I love in order to increase my productivity and also prevent burnout, which is awesome. So somebody like Gary Vee comes in, sleeps 7 to 8 hours a day, which he openly says. And then whenever he's on those 16 hours, I mean, he's a beast, a machine. He just works, just produces, he's just productive. the whole time, okay? Something in there has to give. He has to have some fun with something, and we've seen that. If you follow Gary Vee, one of the things, or a couple of the things that he does is, one, he does yard selling, garage selling, where he'll go find cool deals, buy them, and resell them on websites like eBay, Poshmark, whatever else, in order to double his profits or make more money. That is a fun thing for him. If he didn't do that, could he make more money at VaynerMedia or for VaynerMedia? Probably. He could probably spend more time closing a deal with Coca-Cola or something along those lines. But because it's fun, he enjoys it, and to him, it's just something that makes his life fun. So he enjoys it, so he does it. It's fun with focus. Yes, it's making him money. It's not optimized, but that's okay because it's fun. The other one is VeeFriends, where he's now trying to do, there's a lot of crypto components with it, but the way that he explained it before is he wants it to be like Pokemon meets Marvel. So he's building his own like cinematic universe around this. He's got his own kid cartoon coming out, where he's educating kids on being business owners and like good, like not necessarily business owners, but just good life values, moral values to have, things of that nature. Again, if he didn't do that, could he optimize and focus somewhere else to make way more money? Probably. At least for the time being, probably. So the way to do this is really simple. You just look at your life and you find your balancing point. What are you doing that's fun? What are you doing that's focus oriented? How do you increase those things in order to get a good balance? How are you growing your company, making money, keeping clients happy, but also enjoying it, not experiencing burnout, and ultimately just being happy in your life? You have time for social life or social events, your loved ones, your family, whoever else. You have time for both of these, and they coexist. Now, these scores 0 to 10, they do not have to be, it's not additive. It's not, the total score is 10 necessarily. You can be as focused as possible and also having as much fun as possible. Each can be kind of a 10, if you will. So if you suck at managing stress, you can't be you can't be ultra focused and just focused and not have fun. And likewise, if you are somebody who is really easily distracted, you can't just be all fun and no focus. You have to find that balance between the two for yourself. So let's talk about kind of some solutions here. So whenever it comes to increasing your focus, your efficiency, your productivity, a lot of apps are really good at this. I personally use Trello, Notion, Blitzit. I've used Rike, I think Motion. It's like an IO one or AI generated something or other. Like I've used those before to help me organize my days, my weeks, my goals, all of that stuff. I also write pen and paper my goals for the week. And then as I go through there, I check them off. And then I have this other system. Which this one's kind of cool. So this one's super simple. So this is your daily stuff. So you have a card, you write down your stuff on here. You can write when you're gonna schedule it. So as you can see, you can schedule it here. And then you have your timer. And if I press this, you'll see the time pop up. But you have your on time and your off time. So you have 25 minutes of work, Pomodoro timer, 25 minutes of work, and then 5 minutes of rest and relaxation, basically, or like a little break. And you just kind of go back and forth until all your work's done. You've knocked out all of the things on your card. That's another viable option. So let's go ahead and go through this really quickly for myself, right? My fun right now, I would say is about an 8, okay? 8 out of 10. That's pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun in life. I get to play pickleball a lot. I make a lot of coffee. I have a lot of fun. I play video games sometimes. I spend time with friends and family. I would like to do more, specifically like my grandparents. I would like to spend more time with them and spend more time with my parents, go places, do something, travel more. So there's always room for growth there. That's why it's an 8 instead of a 10. On the focus side, I am a little bit worse off. I would probably say my focus is a 6 or a 7, so let's just say 6 out of 10. Focus side is something that I've always struggled with. My discipline needs to be better. I need to wake up better. I need to wake up earlier, have more of a morning routine in place. That's something I'm working on in 2025. I need to make more content. I need to engage with people. I need to massage my network more and grow that network so that I can have more clients coming in. There are so many things that are just a little bit out of place for me, but it makes that focus a little bit more difficult. Plus, managing 2 businesses at the same time is not an easy task. So whenever I start doing something for one, often something pops up for the other, and you have to switch hats, and just finding that focus can be very difficult for me personally. Beyond that, distractions are a big thing for me. You know, my phone pops up with Clash of Clans, or somebody texts me to go play pickleball or something like that. You know, there's a ton of distractions. So I've been working for the past 2 years specifically on finding a system that works. That's why I can tell you that I've used Rike and Monday, and I'm currently using Notion Calendar, Trello, Blitzit, and I use that system that I just showed, as well as, a number of other things, time blocking, you name it. I'm trying to find something that works with my busy schedule, because my main business doesn't actually have one client. It's not we're just selling to the public. We have tons of accounts that are open at any given time, and we're doing work for all of those accounts almost simultaneously. So I may work on 17 different accounts in the same week. I get done with a task for one, I move on to the next and the next and the next. There's a lot of things that are moving around. So creating a system of focus that lets me be as productive as humanly possible can be very difficult. So what I would do is I would sit down, I would draw this out like we just did, rank yourself, and write why. So under 8 out of 10 on our fun, I could say grandparents, travel, mom and dad. I'm trying to be specific here. Obviously, I could just say family or traveling or both. Grandparents specifically, mom and dad specifically, I want to spend more time with them, do more things, go on walks, hikes, whatever it is. Grandparents, I want to go over to their house, maybe watch a soccer game with them, hang out with them, spend that time. Those are things I need to do better on that side. But other than that, my happiness is at an all-time high. On the work side, it's the same thing. Get specific. You can make this list as robust as you want or as minute as you want. If you want to narrow it down to the top 3 on each side, that's totally fine. My top 3 are on here. Let's do top 3 for the other side. Okay, so my top 3 on the other side are time management, distractions, and communication. My handwriting's kind of bad, so that's why I'm telling you. Hopefully you guys can read it. But time management, always something that I struggle with, like I kind of said, is, we work with 17 different clients at a random time. It may be even higher than that at this point. And that's not including leads that come in, meetings that we're having with those leads, and then onboarding leads that turn into clients. There are millions of things moving, not quite millions, but quite a bit of things moving for 2 people, me and my business partner, to manage together at any given time. Distractions, things popping up on my phone, notifications on my computer, whatever those things are that pop up that make me go, oh, cool, I'll play Clash of Clans or surf Reddit or, look at Twitter for 15 minutes. Burns time. It's a distraction. It needs to be removed. And then the last one that I put here is communication. Now, this is communication with my business partner, clients, leads, continuously being in people's ear. I want to be top of mind at the end of the day. Whenever somebody says, I need a website, I need a funnel built, I need to generate more leads, I need to generate more sales, the first person I want them to think about is me, or specifically my marketing company. So that is what I need to work on. This is kind of the build out of how this all flows. One thing I will say is at the end of this, now that we have those top 3, the next step would just simply be, how do I do that? How can I see my grandparents more? How can I travel more? How can I see my mom and dad more? And then same thing on the other side. How can I manage my time better? How can I limit distractions? How can I better my communication? And the answer is really simple. You just write it down. How can I see my grandparents more? Well, I can reach out to them. They live 15 minutes away. I can drive and see them anytime I want. I just have to make that effort. Travel, that's a little bit more complex. I like traveling with people, my mom, my dad, whoever, specifically saying like, I need to save more money for this, or I need to create a bank account that just has travel money in it. And I put $15 in there a month, and I do one trip a year, or not a month, it'd be like a week. And then same thing, mom and dad just, hey, do you guys want to go hiking? On the other side, the focus side for me is going to be a little bit more difficult because time management is going to require me finding some kind of tool out there. Like I said, Wrike, Trello, Notion calendar, Monday, Blitzit, whatever your system is, narrow down that system. And my problem right now is that I have a million of them. So I've tried a bunch of them and they're all kind of intertwined to some extent. For example, I use Trello for our internal stuff. So that's between me and Bobby, as well as client facing stuff, which would be, how the progress of a website is going and the client would have visibility of that. Notion calendar for meetings and time blocking, Blitzit for my day-to-day stuff, and then I keep my weekly goals written down on a piece of paper. So there's a lot to it, and sometimes it may not be as optimized as you can possibly get, and sometimes that's okay. Distractions, whenever I'm working, I probably need to just turn my phone over. Not look at anything on the screen, it's already on silent. So if certain people text or call, that like a client or, my mom, my dad, whoever, if they call, sure, it can go off, but the majority of people, friends, it shouldn't go off. And then beyond that, those notifications should probably be limited a little bit for me, especially during work hours. I should turn on focus mode or something like that. Communication is a simple one. All I have to do is just make a list of people who I need to talk to every week, our client list, and just make sure I shoot them a text, say, hey, here's where your account's at, here's what we're looking at, here's what we're working on, here's the data, here's the results. Or if it is our leads list, I can reach out to them and say, hey, I sent over that proposal. Did you get a chance to take a look at it? Hey, how are things going? Do you have any more questions? Touch base with them, and same thing to continue to grow that network is to reach out to more people, reach out to them on LinkedIn, make, YouTube content or whatever it is that can kind of grow and help me communicate to that target audience. And then beyond that, I have to talk to my business partner in a better way because, right now it's just a little bit too disjointed, I feel like. So at the end of the day, finding a balance between focus and fun is not nearly as easy as it should probably be, as it may sound. The truth is, if you do one more than you probably should, or the other more than you probably should, there's gonna be some negative fallout. And you wanna definitely prevent that. And make sure that you just track it, make sure that you sit down and you just visualize it. Do this exercise that we just did. It is super simple. I made it up a while ago just to visualize things, just to understand where my biggest pain points were from a fun perspective as well as a focus perspective in my personal life and in my professional life. An awesome book that you guys can pick up that I will link in the description down below is Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. And if you don't watch his channel already, I highly suggest it if you're trying to find that balance between your professional and your personal life as well as fun and focus. Also, like the video if you found something in here useful. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, whether you agree or disagree. Let's talk down there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.